ride is the theming. I wasn't Damn. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Adventures with Parker. Today, we are here at Knoebels in Ellisburg, Pennsylvania. This morning, literally 2 hours ago, we were in Dorney Park. So if you haven't seen that vlog, go and check it out because I had a great day there. But anyways, we are spending the rest of our night here in Knoebels. I was here last year and I really enjoyed my time and I knew I had to come back, but I'm also missing a few things. Like I didn't do Black Diamond, Flying Turns wasn't open, I didn't get to check with the museum, so I got to do all of that. And I also really want to re-ride some of my favorite coasters like Phoenix and Twister. So I don't have a lot of time. I'm a little bit nervous that I might not get a lot done, especially because it is pretty busy here. But we'll see how the day goes. I'm just here to have a good time. So even if I don't get everything done, I know this is a park I'm gonna come back to sooner rather than later. So I gotta go buy some tickets and we'll just see where the day takes us from there. So without any further ado, let the Knoebels adventures begin. Okay, so it's not ready yet. They're still working away at it, but coming very soon to Knoebels is a Baron Curve. Now, this is a classic attraction that was featured at a lot of different amusement parks, including Canada's Wonderland back in the day. But yeah, this is the first one we've seen pop up in a long time. I am so excited for this one to open. So when it does, I'm gonna have to come back. Like I said, I can't stay away from these parks for too long. Now here's something that I did last time but didn't get to feature my vlog because my phone died, but that is the old carousel. And the cool thing about it is, first of all, it uses one of the old timey carousel organs. So it's really cool to see that because you don't see that at a lot of parks anymore. Usually the carousel music is done by speakers, but here it's actually done by the organ. But the main thing is that it includes the ring game. So those on the outside horses of the carousel can reach out and grab a ring as they pass by, and if you get a brass ring, you end up winning tickets that you can use on your next visit. And I did it as the last ride of my night last time, and I ended up getting those tickets. Which unfortunately I didn't bring with me this time, but yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to do it again today. We'll see if we have time, but I just wanted to make sure I highlighted that. All right, so the last time I was here, I got an all-day wristband, but those aren't available on Saturdays, so I ended up getting the ticket book. And yeah, just like an old-timey carnival or something like that, you literally just give the tickets to the ride operator, and that's how you get on all of the rides. Which is kind of cool because admission to the park is free, parking is free, so you're literally just paying for the rides. And I was talking about this in my Dorney Park vlog, because I'm arriving so late, I kind of don't mind that because I don't feel like I'm missing out on any value. I'm kind of making my own value by using up the tickets that I feel are worth it. The other cool thing is that your tickets don't expire, so even if you come 10, 15 years from now, they'll still be good, assuming that, the park has the same owners and whatnot. But yeah, that's kind of nice because I don't mind splurging a bit and getting the $50 ticket book, because even if I don't use them all today, I know I'll have them for next time. Again, assuming I have the foresight to bring them with me. Now, the only thing with the tickets, and this was also true with the wristband, is that it doesn't cover the Haunted Mansion. That is an extra $3 ticket. It's kind of its own thing. Totally worth it in my opinion. I'm definitely hitting up Haunted Mansion today. So yeah, just be aware that that's going to be an extra charge when you visit. All right, my first ride of the day is going to be Flying Turns. This was closed during my last visit, but it is at the top of my list to do today. And it looks like it's a long line, but we are going to wait it out. Well, hello there, Mr. Minerman. Or Hunterman, I thought that was a pickaxe. It's a gun. Alrighty, my first Knoebels coaster of the day and my second new credit of 2023, Flying Turns. Flying Turns is one of the last wooden bobsleds anywhere in the world, and it was built in-house by the people here at Knoebels, and it was the first and only installation of these wooden bobsled coasters in many, many years. Yeah, it's such a unique coaster and so much fun. Now, I have been on like a modern bobsled coaster before, and that one was Reptilian at King's Dominion, but I felt like it didn't quite live up to my expectations, and also might have been because it was early in the morning and we had a mostly empty train, but we didn't really go up on the walls as much, whereas on this one, you definitely were. Like, you were going pretty high on the turns, and it just had this awesome like out of control feeling, but at the same time it was super smooth. So I'm so glad I was finally able to get on it, and already made the trip to Knoebels worth it for me. Another thing that I really enjoyed about the ride is the theming. I wasn't Damn. There's some signage around the queue that made it look like an airport terminal. Even the train had a little dashboard in front of you, so it's just like very minimal, but I mean, those little touches go a long way for me. Why bother going to New York City when you have the Statue of Liberty right here at Knoebels? A little smaller than I expected though.
But I got lots of wisdom to show for all my years. For a fair price, I'll share some with you.
Oh, this is cool. These are some old mining maps. Kind of reminds me of something out of Lord of the Rings, to be honest. We have a wall of mining tools here. Here we have a display with different types of mining helmets, and what I didn't know and learned by reading this is that there's different helmets for different types of functions. So some might reduce electrical shock, some are equipped with respirators in case there's any toxic gases or like a lack of oxygen. So yeah. Okay, so this is neat. This is a model of a bootleg coal mine, and it was made by an elementary school student and entered into a science fair in 1964 and then donated to the park several years after that. And probably the most iconic part of the coal museum is this model T-Rex, because as we all know, coal is a fossil fuel made from ancient swamps and forests. Okay, and then behind the Mining History Museum, we also have the Knoebels History Museum, talking more about the history of the park itself. so happy I got to check out the museums. I was so sad that I missed that last time. And they're so cool. I mean, mining is such a big part of the local area, so it's great that the park is highlighting that history and that legacy in the museum. And then I think every park should have a park museum. I'm surprised more don't. So Knoebels, thank you for leading the charge on that. It was actually so interesting to read about the park's history. I mean, especially because it is a family-owned park. It's not like one of these big corporate parks. It was started by a family. Like, it was a farm that was purchased, and just seeing how it developed over the years from the swimming hole to the park that it is now, so cool. Anyways, as I'm talking, I'm winding my way through the queue into Black Diamond, which is the other coaster that I missed during my last visit. And after this, I will pretty much have park completion as far as roller coasters go.
For you, trespasser.
Okay, so Black Diamond was awesome. I didn't ride it last time because I didn't really come out to this corner of the park. Like, I saw the museum, I knew I didn't have time to go in, and I didn't realize it was back here, but it was so freaking good because, I mean, it's a wooden coaster. I mean, there's been a bit of debate about whether it counts as a credit. I say it definitely does because it's all propelled by gravity, and there's actually some sizable drops in there. I was quite surprised. And I mean, it was taller and longer than I was expecting too. Of course, what I really loved was that it doubled as a dark ride. So there was all these cool like animatronics and some cool little mining scenes, and towards the end there was this spinning tunnel that just made me so disoriented, but in the best way. So I'm sad that I missed it last time because it is definitely among one of my favorite attractions out there now. It is just so cool. Definitely up my alley. I'm always a sucker for these like quirky old school dark rides, and to throw in a credit with it, it's a perfect package. I am equally confused and intrigued by this attraction. Like, what are they, ladybugs? Like Elton John ladybugs? I don't know. So So I just did the satellite, which easily wins the award as the most terrifying ride I've ever been on. First of all, when you're up at the top waiting for the people on the bottom to load, the whole structure shakes and you can feel every little movement. So that was fun. Like before the ride even starts, already messing with my psyche there. And then because I was the only person in my cage, my whole body was like going side to side. Like that lap bar keeps you from going up and down. It does not stop those laterals. So I was like going over here, and it was a lot. It was fun. Would I do it again? Probably, maybe with a partner next time. But oh gosh, the things I do for this hobby. Of course, one does not go to Knoebels without checking out The Loaf, which is literally this building shaped like a giant loaf of bread. It is so quirky and kitschy, and I love it. This crazy looking thrill ride was called Power Surge, and it operated at the park from 2000 to 2023. Now, notice that I'm using the past tense here because although I got to ride it in the summer and it was a huge highlight of my day, like honestly, it was such a fun ride, it was actually replaced by the Rockoplane. So when I came back to the park in October, there was a completely different ride there. And I mean, Rockoplane is super fun, and I'd say they're pretty equal in terms of quality and how much I enjoyed them. But it was just so weird to visit the park twice in the same season and have two different rides in that spot. Like, where else would you see that other than Knoebels? Alright, so I decided to get myself the Heppel Hot Dog, which is a specialty menu item created in honor of the Haunted Mansion's 50th anniversary. It has hot chili, jalapenos, cheese, and then you had your choice of dressing, so you could either get dill or avocado sauce. I got the avocado one, and it looks pretty good. Also pretty messy, so you will not be seeing me try this one on camera. Alright, that was pretty good. The jalapenos definitely gave it a nice little kick, but the chili itself wasn't terribly spicy, so if you were a bit concerned about that, you can probably get it without the jalapenos and you'd be just fine. But overall, it definitely hits the spot. And I don't think I mentioned this before, but if you wanted to try this, you can find it at the pickup counter at the Alamo. And since we already ate something themed around the Haunted Mansion, we definitely need to give the actual ride a whirl. Of course, the ride is celebrating their 50th anniversary this year, which is so exciting. They have giveaways, they have food, lots of things to celebrate. Okay, like I said earlier, the Haunted Mansion requires a separate ticket from, the tickets you use for the rest of the rides here. And look, it has a cool little 50th anniversary design.
Sorry.
Into the mansion we go. About him. Happy 50th! Woo! Skeletons on the ceiling. Oh yeah, you think of that witch? Okay, the other museum here at Knoebels that we need to check out is the Carousel Museum. It looks kind of cool in there, so let's head on in. Okay, there's lots of very interesting pieces in here, and I can't possibly go over all of them in this video. But one I want to draw special attention to is this primitive standing lioness from the 1800s. Like a very early piece, like that is one old carousel figure. Oh wow, I've seen carousels with menagerie figures before, but never like a dog. Like that's a golden retriever right there. And most of these pieces have little plaques kind of telling you the history of the figure, you know, where it's from, who made it, the time period. I can find one for the prancing goat, but I'm not seeing anything about the dog. Oh wait, I found it. It's over here. So it was made in 1915 by the Herschel Spellman Company, and unfortunately we don't know where it's from, like what carousel it operated on. So that's unfortunate, but still cool that it's here. So I mean, I'm not the biggest carousel nerd out there, but I do really appreciate carousels as like an art form. I love the little attention to detail that you see on the scenery panels and on the figures themselves. So being in here was a real treat. Yeah, they have the horses like in the middle and some around the sides here. On the walls they have scenery panels, the mirrors, and then there's little bits of information around like some history of carousels, some vocabulary, so very cool. I quite like this. All right, back row ride on Phoenix, here we go.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear me out. It's all the things you never show. There are the things I want to know. Secrets start in your heart so slow. But if you don't want to tell me now, I guess I'll never know.
Okay, I knew there was a reason why Phoenix was my favorite wooden roller coaster. It is just so crazy and so just, how is that even legal? So for those of you who don't know, Phoenix is a wooden roller coaster that uses buzz bars and no seat belts. So you just have a bar and it's not touching your legs at all. Like when you're on there, you think it's like a foot gap. I mean, I know it's not that much. It's probably 1.5 times the size of my fist, but that's still a sizable gap. And of course I had to ride in the back row, and the airtime I got was just insane. Like my thighs were touching that buzz bar. It was so crazy. You're just being thrown around and it's so wild. It was so fun. If I have time at the end of the night, I definitely want to come back and do it again. But yeah, that was insane. So right now I'm just headed over to the other side of the park to do Twister, which is the other major wooden coaster here. And then I want to do Impulse, and we'll see where we are from there. If I have time, I'll do Phoenix again. If not, I mean, I've already had an amazing day here at Knoebels. I was so worried getting here late that I wouldn't have time to do everything that I wanted. But I honestly, like, I got through like all of my major things. And sure, I could spend another couple hours here for sure. But I'm just so happy with how this day turned out between Dorney Park and here. Just, yeah, I've really lucked out today. This is giving me such roller coaster tycoon vibes, and I am here for it. Always great to see those old organs. Alright, so the end of my evening was a bit of a whirlwind. So I think the last time I did one of these updates, I was over by Twister, which is just a phenomenal wooden coaster. I mean, both of the wooden coasters in this park are so good. I think I prefer Phoenix just a little bit more, but only slightly, because Twister is fantastic. It's so weird and unique and just great. I then went over and did Impulse, which is a very fun ride as well. Not my favorite in the park actually, just because there's so many other cool rides here, but definitely a good one. And I rode with the nicest people, so that was great. And at that point it was like 8:58, 8:57, like the park was closing in 2 or 3 minutes. So I like galloped to the back of the park and I finished off my night with Phoenix, which was the perfect way to cap off my day. And yeah, that's it. That's going to do it for my adventure here at Knoebels. Honestly, today was such a perfect day. Like maybe one of my best theme park days of all time. I mean, we did two, not one, but two amazing parks today. And even though we didn't dedicate a full day to them, I got to do everything that I wanted to do at both and more. I mean, I got through all of my goals and just had a fantastic time. I think if anything, if I had any critique for today, one would be for it to not be so humid and hot. I don't think I've been dry since this trip started. It is kind of gross outside, so that's been a bit tough. And I feel like it'd be cool if Knoebels was open for like an hour more. Not because I didn't feel like I didn't do enough, but just because it's only just getting dark now, and I feel like this park has some really cool nighttime vibes that I really didn't get to experience. Like the sunset rides are cool, but I think like one more hour would have been perfect. Anyways, I'm exhausted. I still have to drive an hour to get to, I think an hour, to get to Hershey tonight. So much ahead for today. But if you would like to see more adventures from theme parks, attractions, and beyond, please consider subscribing to my channel. I've been doing a lot lately, I feel like, and yeah, your support would mean a lot to me. You can also find me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads at ADV Parker, and on TikTok and Facebook at Adventures with Parker. As always, big shout out to my patrons for all the extra support you guys give me. I appreciate it so much. And if you would like to learn how to support my channel for as little as $2 a month, you can find out more at patreon.com/adbparker. Once again, thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, the adventures are calling. See ya.